Vimala
Shadbhujanand
Mata, yeah, definitely.
Shadbhujanand Prabhu doesn't take prasadam unless he chants 16 rounds.
Oh, really?
Yes,
See, every devotee has their own pastime.
very well. That's very tough at times, to do that. Huh?
Yeah, without chanting 16 rounds, it's yeah. That means he's getting it rounds completed by 7 o'clock.
Right.
To be honest, Prabhuji, I think it doesn't happen all the time. So, but Manohar Prabhuji gets up early, but I am a little bit late, but I try to finish it up.
But it's nice to get the chanting done by 7 o'clock. That's very
Yeah,
great.
otherwise, yeah, yeah.
Otherwise,
Before,
chanting is very difficult for me. That's how I have noticed.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask other devotees to do the pranam mantra. So please follow the same format that I'm going to do today. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kiripatadham Bande Shri Gurum Dintadanam Paramanand Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram नमो विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 नाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य हिज भांगी साहब प्रभुपाद की जय सिंबल भक्त वृंद की जय नित्य गौरा प्रेमनंदी हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna, welcome you all. Thank you for coming and showing your full enthusiasm for Bhakti Sastri course to learn Bhagavad Gita. We are going through 16th chapter, the divine and demoniac nature. And in this chapter, we talked about the divine qualities and we also talked about demoniac qualities. And then we are going through a series of verses where activities of the demoniac people are mentioned, how do they act, and then finally, how the people who have Ashuric pravriti, demons type of nature, can start turning into devotee by following the teaching of scripture as presented in a scripture. So Jyoti Mataji, I'm not sure if you missed multiple session, but anytime anybody has anything that they would like to ask, please do not hesitate and feel free to stop and discuss. Raise your hand and I can, or you can unmute yourself and we can uh, talk. So Krishna is talking about all of the demoniac quality. And we went through all of these verses that they are lost in themselves. Their conducts and tendencies are demoniac. Their attitudes are demoniac. They are engaged in demonic activity. And they're always after wealth and prestige. And they think that they have killed all the enemy and there is no enemy for that person. And he is now perfectly situated and fully powerful. So by all of that types of, thinking, Anekachita Vibhranta, he is in full anxiety and he is bound by network of illusions. Samavritaha, Mohajal Samavrita. Like when a fisherman is catching fish, he throws the net and all the fishes get caught into the net and they don't know that they are caught until they are getting pulled out from the water. So they are bound by the network of illusion. They are very much caught into the network of uh, illusion. Says that the three chains, right? Chain of metal, chain of silver, and chain of gold. These are three guna. So they are bound. Their legs are bound by these three guna because they are very attached, very attached to the activities or to the actions which are pertaining to sense enjoyment. And due to that, patanti narakeshu suchau, that unclean person falls into the hellish planet, falls into the lower planetary system. So after this, we'll start the next section of verses. So in verse number 17, Krishna is talking about their hypocritical nature. Hypocritical nature. So Atma Sambhavitaha Stabdha. Stabdha means, like when you give some sort of shock, to somebody. Oh, I didn't know that, you are here, Stabdha. So Atma Sambhavitaha Astabdha. Dhana Mana Madanvita. Yajante Nam Yagnaste Dambhena Avidhi Purvakam. So they are not very intelligent in the subject of self-realization. And here self-realization means knowing that we are at least not this body, right? Many people would not consider themselves as soul. They think that they are this body. So they are very slow. They don't have intelligence to understand that they are not this body. So what happens if you think that you are not this body? Then they like enjoying the resources that's given to them in form of the men or women body, and they are always in pride. Madanvitaha. Madanvitaha means Madanvita, Madanvita means when people are drunk, fully drunk, and then in drunk you see, oh, I'm the king of this entire universe, and all this, everything is mine. Hey, come on. You have seen some drunk people, right? Especially in India, you will see that they will walk on the street. I'm from this family, that family, and all that thing happens. So that's what he says. The word Madanvita here means they are fully, fully captivated, as wine
Intoxicated.
and intoxicated, as wine and beer get, on somebody, and then the person get fully, fully drowned into the impact of the liquor. That type of, mentality that person has. And for what? Fun and man, wealth, due to his wealth and due to his some false recognition that he has, he is fully intoxicated by that. And what he does, sometimes yajante nama yagnaiste, sometimes he does, engage in some sort of yagya, but that is only for
Name.
nemum, nama. only for name purpose. Oh, you don't know, how much uh yajna I have done, you know. And what do they do while they are doing that yajna? Dambhena avidhi purvak. Due to their false pride, they don't follow the rules and regulations that presented in Shastra. I'm thinking how it's prevalent in the society. People would not accept Krishna as supreme person, right? They would not consider Lord Ram as Bhagwan and supreme person. First, they would not even consider there is Bhagwan. And even if they consider Bhagwan, they will think that, Bhagwan, there is no Bhagwan, but maybe there are some Mahan Purus, great personality. Krishna says this in Bhagavatam, in Bhagavad Gita, that Mudhamam Abhijanati, Manustanam Asritam. When I take this form of human being, they think that I am ordinary human being. So that's what happens, Again, Shastra again and again is saying that Ishvara Brahma Krishna, Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa Krishna Astu Bhagwan Swayam. It's saying again and again that Krishna is Bhagwan, Krishna is Bhagwan. But they will not follow the rules and regulations of the Shastra, and they will go with their mundane, knowledge that they have, which is not coming from profound sources. So this is not something that is not uh, very applicable. It's not something that we don't see in the society. We are day in, day out, and we still have, I have some of this too. So these things are presents, these things are present in people, normal people. So what happens? Ahankaram balam darpam, kamam krodham cha samsritaha, mamatma pradehishu, pradvishanto abhuesha abhaya sukayah. Abhaya sukayah means envious. So ahankaram balam darpam, due to ahankar, false ego, balam is strength, darpam pride, kamam lust, krodham anger. This person is samsritaha. Samsritaha, he is fully bewildered. Samsritaha. Samsritaha. Samas asritaha iti samsritaha. Means the one who has taken the shelter. Taken the shelter of what? Taken the shelter of ahankar, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham. And with that, this is really very good chapter. Whenever we have to, I think this is the chapter we should, the verses from this chapter should be used when we are in the preaching program. Really, all these verses are very clear, very nicely saying a lot of good things. So, mama atma paradeheshu. What happens with that bewilderment? That pradvishanto avaya sukkayaha. They are envious of whom? That person who is mama atma and paradeshu, who is present in your body, in our body, and in the body of other living being. So who is that person? What form of supreme personality is mentioned there? Mama
The
Atma Pradeya. Huh?
super soul.
Yeah. So they hate Bhagwan, They hate Bhagwan, and they don't know that Bhagwan is inside him. So Mama Atma, Para means others, Dehesu means body. So Mama Atma means inside our body, inside your body, and inside the body of others. The same person is present, but due to their false ego, strength, pride, and lust, they are envying, they are envious of that Lord. Very nice. Very nice. Krishna has mentioned. Tanaham Dvishataha Kuran. That mischievous person who has dvesa, who has envy towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. Samsaresu Naradhaman. 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 Samsareshu. Shu is here. Among all the living beings who are in this samsara. Right? So the word translation is being given here, the lowest among the mankind. Naradhaman. Samsareshu Naradhaman. Who is that Naradhaman? Tanaham Dvishataha Puran. That mischievous person who has dvesa, right? Dvesa towards Supreme Personality of God. And then Krishna is saying, Chipami Ajasram Shubhan Asurishwa Vayonishu. Chipami, then I give them Ajasram, eternal, for a long time. Ashubham, to that impure person. What he gives? Gives him birth. Yonishu means birth. Give him birth in the demoniac species of life. So mischievous, envious of becoming Supreme Lord is not good. Not good at all, right? When Krishna is saying that I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. So this Dvisata and Krishnaradhama, that's what they get. They get casted into the ocean of material existence. Wow. Asurim Junim Apana Mudha Janmani Janmani Mam Prapaiva Aprapaiva Aprapaiva Kanteya Tato Yanti Adhamam Gatim. Adhamam Gatim. Adhamam means the lowest. So Asurim Jonim Apana Mudha Janmani Janmani. So this person now, what happens? He gets Janmani, a repeated birth. Where he gets a repeated birth? Where he gets a repeated birth?
In the lower planetary system.
Yeah, in the Asurim Yonim, in the lower planetary system. Mam prapaiva onteya, aprapaiva. So prapaiva means he will come to me, right? And aprapaiva, just by adding a, the Sanskrit, completely changes the meaning. So mam aprapaiva onteya. He will never obtain me. He will never come to me. He will never reach me. Tatto yanti adamam gatim. And slowly and slowly, they sink down to lowest status of life.
Prabhuji, can I ask one
Yeah,
question, please?
please.
This actually going back to verse 17, Atma Sambhavita Stabdha. And you explained like Stabdha is like a surprised, right? And
Yeah,
Yeah,
like lost type of. Yeah, please. Yeah, continue.
and Atma Sambhavita, I mean, here it is like self complacent. So can we take it this way, Prabhu, that a person who is Atma Sambhavita, that is a very surprising thing for Krishna, because in effect, but I'm not understanding why self complacency is surprising, because uh, means what is the difference
Self
between
self
complacency? Yeah.
complacency is surprising to whom?
Um,
Nothing is surprising to Lord, right? As
mhm.
Paramatma, Krishna is
Right.
very aware
Hmm.
what's going on in the heart of the living being. So,
Okay.
Astabda here, Prabhupada is translating impudent,
Okay.
and Atma Sambhavita is translated here as self-complacent,
Mhm.
to achieve something for oneself, right?
Right.
So he is very impudent, means he is very uh, restrictive in achieving something for himself in terms of realizing himself, self-realization. So I basically
Mm,
use the word that he is very restrictive, he is very reserved in the science of self-realization.
mm,
Very, very. So Sambhavita, Atma Sambhavita, I have a dictionary, English Sanskrit dictionary here. I can even look at that.
mhm. Other thought I was having, Prabhu, while you're
Yeah,
looking,
yeah.
is can we say that a person who thinks himself independent of the Lord,
Uh-huh,
um, and all the things he's thinking himself great about himself
uh-huh.
and thinks nothing about the Lord? I mean, basically, he's thinking he's independent and supreme, independent of the Lord. And that is very, and he's intoxicated by that idea that I am the greatest. Like Muhammad Ali saying, I am the greatest. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that person is completely deluded in one sense, uh, and therefore uh, he goes after things pertaining to his external senses, and the moment anything he sees around him as external, as he's the processor, I am the big person, I own says this much, and the moment he thinks that, he's more engrossed into that, and he loses himself completely. Whereas if he was in the home of his, uh, he was dependent on the Lord uh, for everything, then he would have been okay. But
So you are saying that, you are saying that if I understand the gist of your statement, that
mm,
by dhan and mana, by,
mm,
uh, by his wealth and false prestige,
mm.
he is completely lost, right? He is, he does not have any consciousness. He's just stopped. Right?
Mm.
That's what you are saying.
Yeah, eh, wha- uh, his sense of independence from the Lord, like I am the greatest.
Yeah.
Uh, that
So Prabhuji,
makes him lose himself. Yeah.
right. So here is the thing. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata विभु सर्वाश्रय प्रति श्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थ kaya. So this verse may have some other meaning also. Like if you look at the vibhakti of the Sanskrita,
Okay.
and if you go through that rule, then maybe there could be a lot, different translation. Like if you read the translation that is given to this verse by some Brahmanwadi, they might tell completely differently. But our uh, purification, our purity is that we just go the way our acharyas have translated.
Right. Okay.
So translation that you are seeing exactly is what Prabhupada has translated.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why I just broke it down. So I can
Mhm.
only say up to that extent that
Uh-huh.
Prabhupada has translated through his purport and his
No.
translation. But I'm not saying that there could not be any different meaning. There could be different meaning.
So,
There
can
could be. Yes.
what would be the difference between self-complacent and being content, self-content? Because contentment is regarded as a good thing for it's right. I
Uh-huh.
mean, if you're content with whatever you have materially, and
Uh-huh.
you're happy with whatever Lord has provided, and you're content with that, that's a good thing for spiritual development, right? But here, self-complacent, mm, as you said, was he's not he's not endeavoring for spiritual
Yeah,
perfection.
so complacent here is indicating his lethargic, attitude,
Hmm,
his deficiency towards self-awareness.
hmm,
So self-complacent here refers that he is lethargic, he is
lethargic.
restrictive in knowing about the higher truth about himself.
Hmm,
Rather, the time that he is using it for earning dhan
hmm,
and mana. I was talking to one of my friend, okay,
hmm,
and we went to school together.
hmm,
We did PhD together. We came on same flight from India in 2000. We had our PhD program under same professor,
hmm,
and in fact, both of us started going to one of the devotee, Alok Prabhu, who is professor now in Kansas University, to learn science of Krishna consciousness. But luckily, Krishna helped me, when I left my PhD, go to the place where I ended up falling into the lap of a devotee, not even knowing. I found that I'm next to temple, and he
hmm,
ended up going somewhere else where he has no connections.
hmm,
So he completely got off the track now. He lost whatever he was doing even before. But I went, once at his house, I was talking to him and I asked him that, what you are doing. So he lives a place where there are so many devotees and he could easily go and associate with those devotees. But I asked him, what you are doing when you have free time?
hmm,
He said, I was getting bored. So I started doing some business. And with that, I am very busy over the weekend. So weekend, he started something else.
hmm.
Like the related business that you say, where
Yeah,
show the house
yeah,
to people
yeah.
and all of that. So he said that's the business I have taken. I got the
Correct, correct.
certificate and I'm doing my time, for that thing. And
Hmm,
he has a lot of money. His sons and daughters. Now, I mean, for sure he has more money than I do. But I
hmm,
told, that you are in a good place and you should use your time for some higher consciousness. He said, but then he said something that I didn't like. He gave more value to, what he's doing. So, so these are some of the example. They are
hmm.
always coming up. I don't know, my hand is raised, but forgive me for that. It will take some time for me to set it up. So people will give the preference to some of those things. They are lethargic, they are impudent, they are restrictive towards knowing the science of self-realization. Rather, they will give the priority to something else. What else do you need? I'm not sure how many of you know. Do you know there was one devotee who lived in St. Louis, very powerful devotee. His name was Kardamuni Prabhu. Kardamuni Prabhu ki jai. Kardamuni Prabhu, I moved here where I am right now because of Kardamuni Prabhu, because he was here. So I thought that, if I stay close to devotee, I will have association. And we were kind of very close friend. He was just living one street down. And then somehow, his son-in-law moved Chicago. He moved Chicago, and he would, anytime I go there, I would go to at his house, and Prabhu will be like following all the rules and regulations very nicely, very, 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 very nicely, and very quiet, very, focused devotee, very humble, soft, very helpful. Whole life he was in America, but at the time of death, he ended up going to India. He was in Brindavan. He got, some
Wow.
some sort of stuff in Brindavan. He fell down, he got sick, and he passed away. So
Wow.
Krishna, Krishna is always, looking after his devotees. So looking at his pastime, I definitely can say that how Krishna helps.
Hmm,
But there are people who are seeing, day in, day out, left, right, but still the question if there is God exists, if there is something called self-realization, if there is something that one should endeavor to achieve, right? So in that context, it's being used that that person is, you know, he has a deficiency, self, he has deficiency towards self realization.
hmm,
You know, he's not very efficient. That's the intent of this
Yeah,
translation.
Prabhu, when you say lazy, many people or we normally take it as always sleeping on all those things.
Yeah, yeah,
But they are,
lethargic, is lethargic, yes. So
but
lazy, yeah, lazy also means you're right. Please go ahead.
right, right. I mean, what you're saying is lazy in spiritual endeavors, right?
Yeah.
That's
So here
the thing.
Prabhupada says not caring for
Because
any
they may be
authorities
very
or
hardworking.
scripture.
Yeah.
Right. So
Uh,
here Prabhupada is saying that thinking themselves all in all, not caring
uh,
for any authority or scripture. So he's not caring. Demoniacs sometimes perform so-called religious or sacrificial rite, and since they do not believe in authority, they are very impudent. This is due to illusion caused by accumulating some wealth and false prestige. Sometimes such demons take up the role of preacher, mislead the people, and become known as a religious reformer or as an incarnation of God. They make a show of performance. So the later part of the last two verses, Prabhupada is giving the translation purport. So they are not, if you take the learning from this purport, they are not very careful. Is that sufficient? Is that helping?
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they are not very careful about the subject of self-realization. They are not very careful about the teaching of the scriptures. They will mix and match, and they will say things. But I personally think, uh, so anything that we do, anything that we are doing in our devotional life,
Mm,
that is done for purification, right?
right.
For us to for us to awaken our consciousness towards
Mm,
Krishna, right?
right.
So as soon as that thing comes, then the next thing that comes is that what I am doing, is that pleasing to Prabhupada?
Mm,
Is that pleasing to Bhakti Santa Swami Maharaj? Is that
mm,
pleasing to Bhakti Vinod Thakur or my Acharya? Right?
mm,
So, so, so action, if action is coming, then the follow up or the second step with that action is that action is aligned to Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu.
mm,
And if it's aligned, then it's finally pleasing to Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu, which means ultimately to Krishna.
mhm,
So this person is so much prideful with his wealth and false prestige that he is not aligned.
mm,
He's not even thinking. He's not even
mm,
careful about aligning his life with the teaching that is presented by Guru Shastra and Sadhu, or even devotee who has taken the process. Prabhupada is writing in the purport that there are so many people who are cheating people on the name of being so-called uh, social performer or incarnation of God, those type of things. So even some, even someone who is trying to be devotee, if their behavior is not aligning with Guru Shastra and Sadhu, then that's also dangerous.
mhm,
That's also dangerous. So this person is, astabda means impudent here, translated. He is not careful. He is not caring about the science of self-realization or the subject that is
mhm,
presented by Guru Shastra and Sadhu to awaken one's consciousness.
mhm.
What else you would like to say more? Please say.
No, that is pretty clear. I mean, uh, I mean, we have to be very careful within our introspect ourselves.
Yeah, very careful.
These tendencies are there definitely in me. So we have to be careful how to.
Prabhu, this is very, I think important point you brought. This tendency is in most of the people. In our earlier
Yeah.
stage of Krishna consciousness, we still have the things that we have carried over, and that's
Mhm.
how this chapter will conclude. You know that, right? How this chapter is going to conclude, right?
Yeah.
Very seriously, Krishna will emphasize those things that one has to be
This
aligned.
reminds me of the Bhakt Prahlad's verse.
Hmm.
Antha yatha means Bahir
Yeah,
Arthi Manina. That
yeah,
one. Yes.
yeah,
We are misled by
yeah,
leaders who are themselves blind.
yeah,
One blind leading to other blind.
and then take it to the where they take it.
To the
They take it in
well
a drench
ditch.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
they take you, in a well because they don't themselves know where they are going, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for uh, making
Veena
this
Mataji.
verse. Yeah, Bina Mataji, what do you have?
So, Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So, my question is, after that, the following question
Yes,
will
now
be,
it's much better. Very nice. Yeah, I can hear it better. Yes, Mataji, please.
how would you deal with that kind of people? Like, if it's very close friend or family member, how do you deal with that? If they think that there's no, when they say this, there's no God, and they're all in all, like they're figuring out things for
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. So
Apart
when
from
we,
praying for them.
yeah, when we try to preach somebody,
Mm.
preaching, there are three things that we have to be, watchful of. Uh, once somebody reads to Srila Prabhupada and asks, Prabhupada, in your Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto purport, you are writing that Krishna had millions and millions of cows. Nand Maharaj has, millions of cows and calf. But then you also say that Vrindavan is 84, uh, square mile area.
Yes,
So
right.
how millions and millions of cow can uh, adjust in that much space? Then Prabhupada said, I have written so many things, but why you are trying to preach somebody on this subject? Why you are giving somebody too much, stress on their memory or on their intelligence to grasp this subject? There are other things that can be preached. So what I'm trying to say is that for a devotee, it's not inconceivable that that many cow can stay in Vrindavan. For you and I, it's not inconceivable. Why? Because Goloka is a lotus petals. Krishna can expand it. Krishna can contract it. All of that can happen. It's all possible, and we can we can accept that. Why? Because we have a faith, right? So when we are trying to reach people, the first step is that try to give faith to the person who does not have faith. We don't go and talk higher philosophy of Krishna consciousness. A person does not have faith. So first step is that we should give faith to the person who does not have faith. And second level of preaching is that give knowledge to the person who has faith. So first, person does not have faith, you give them faith. Second, if the person has faith, then you give them knowledge. That's why you say that now I can talk whatever I want to talk because this is the group of a devotee. This is the Bhagavatam class. All of you have been chanting and dancing and singing. So I can say, any inconceivable thing about Krishna that I'm going to share, you all will accept it because you have faith in Krishna. And third level of preaching, which is something that I'm also very well realizing, is that only give the knowledge that can be adjusted, that can be digested by the audience. You know, so always try to impart. Our goal is to take somebody at the higher stage, but perfect preacher or intelligent preacher means knowing the audience and how much you should talk so that that you can take them to the next level. You cannot start telling them about all the complexity and details of the Golok Vrindavan and different types of devotee, because it might be too many for them to understand. So three category, three classification I gave. The first one, if you are among the people who do not have faith, then it's your intelligence to talk in a way that you can give them some faith, basic faith. And once somebody has faith, then you give them knowledge. And if somebody has faith and knowledge, then you deliver your message up to the extent that the audience can easily accept. So that's how basically you tackle. So if you end up getting into a group of people, and I remember I was doing bhakti briksha. So I went, the program was happening at one of the devotees' house. So I went there and we opened, we were reading Bhagavad Gita. I opened Bhagavad Gita and I started, talking, Krishna's Karnadakshai, Garbhodakshai, Chudakshai, Vishnu, how the material world is created and everything. So all the creation aspect that's mentioned in Bhagavatam, I was talking. And there were guests there. One of the guests was postdoc in Washington University in biotechnology. So later part of the class, he came and he said, anything that I talked about creation doesn't make sense to him, because he thinks his understanding is that everything has come from earth. Biotechnology, that's how they study. I don't know. I'm not. So microbiologists say that from earth, everything starts. He was giving a different concept, and then it has evolved over the year. We have become human being, but in fact we have come from microbe, he was saying. So I felt, I mean, I didn't argue, but later I realized that maybe I was trying to give too high of a knowledge than for the audience we had there. So for them, we just talk about holy name. What is holy name? Chanting name of Krishna, following four executive principles, and give them some example, some good example, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj type of example, that how they were protected by Krishna. Hiranyakashipu was trying to torture him again and again, again and again, again and again, burn him, kill him, throw him, all of that. God saved him. Those type of things, those type of a story makes impact on people understanding that, oh, God does help. So those are the good things to start. Some of the examples, some of the story that is not too much of a philosophy, but giving them, transplanting some seed of faith in them, giving them some confidence that yes, there is God. And then once there is faith, then slowly and slowly you can nurture and cultivate the consciousness. Manor Prabhu, you have a lot of experience with preaching. Why don't you say something?
Well,
Those are the wonderful thing that you said, Prabhuji, 3 stages. That makes so much of sense. Because
Yeah.
as a devotee, we start jumping like, I mean, as a new devotee, we think that I know at least a little bit, so we just want to impart everything, whatever we learned. So, which is too uh, too too quick for them to understand those things.
Yes. And even for the devotee Mataji, who are not studying Shastra very systematic,
Mm-hmm.
who are not going through page by page, reading every day, listening every day in a very technical format. Some of the technical concept, they have faith. They are very powerful devotee, very, but they would be not accepting. For them, everything is like recently I had an experience. I was trying to explain some technical thing. I tried my best, but it didn't go through. Then this third aspect right away came into my mind. Don't also over deliver. Don't if you understand something, doesn't matter how much you try to explain. People, even person who are following, at due course of time, Krishna will help them. So be very, very mindful and just only deliver up to the message that they can easily grasp. Little bit, move them up. Because too much of a philosophy, they will turn the face away. It will not make sense to them. So it's kind of, our intelligence to know the audience and see what we can do. Most of the
Yeah.
time, a story that is Krishna conscious story, a story of Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad
Mhm.
Maharaj. Bhagavatam is a story, lot of stories. Pull out some of the stories from there, and then tell. Uh, like for example, I can tell you when I give class, I can tell you many people do not like the class. I can tell you why, because I do not say anything which is not coming from Shastra. You will see in my Sunday class verse, then I'll say verse, and then I'll say, because that's my understanding is that we have to be very very chesty with our teaching. I don't go heavy devi. I don't go left right. I don't try to necessarily please person. Whatever is in the Shastra, I say. But many people, maybe not. No, they want to hear something flowery, and all of that. So I personally also think that my classes are too technical. I feel that even,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to dilute it down. I have been thinking that maybe I should little bit, tell Bhagavatam story or
Mhm.
other stuff, because you will see that I'll just cite the verse. Here Krishna is saying this, here Krishna is saying that. And the whole class, I'll tell a story, but nothing from my side, just everything coming from Krishna or coming from Shastra. That's really, I mean, that's the bona fide way of doing it, I can tell you. We should do like that, but not every time, your audience is ready for it. Your audience might not, get into it. There is somebody who are really very, sastric. They would say, yes, I want something like that. I like person who does things like that, in my kind of, life. But not necessarily, everybody else will like it. So
Mhm.
now, as a preacher, Mataji, you have to understand who you are preaching to, and what how you can say, so that that person will be more convinced and more excited or enthusiastic
Yeah.
towards Krishna consciousness.
Prabhuji, if I can speak.
Please.
Yeah. So, in a preaching setting, whatever said, very nice, Prabhuji. But in a like a informal setting, like I'm meeting with my family members and in a day-to-day basis, um, uh, I think we one thing is, as uh, my Guru Raj also says, is that we see bad things in others, but we don't know how much bad things we have.
Yeah,
So we neglect that, and we see others' defects more. So we don't know how much others
very
are
good.
tolerating.
Very good point. But the example that I gave you for a festival class. So
Hmm.
on festival day, if you are doing Gaur Purnima or if you are doing Ramanami, it's about Lord Ramchandraji, It's about
Yeah.
God. The regular Sunday class, yeah, regular Sunday class is very, when I give regular Sunday class, it's just storytelling, very dilute, very light version, 1 or 2 point and done. But
Right.
festival day, which is for festivity,
Yeah.
I have noticed that there is Nityananda Tridasi or Gaur Purnima or Ramanomi. I like talking about Godwa. God, this is Gaur Purnima. So let's talk about, Mahaprabhu. But I have felt that, or even Janmashtami, I have felt that uh, maybe people feel it's too high of a philosophy and verses and all of that. But I say, but today we have to do this. Today is the day, that's how. But I'm realizing that maybe not. Maybe a little bit, say something
More
different.
stories. Huh? People
More
are not that
stories. Yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, stories catches others' attention actually.
Yeah. A
Mm.
story analogy, will
Yeah.
catches more. So that's what since Mataji brought this question, I'm just giving you both sides. I'm not presenting myself as a good example, but I'm presenting you, but here is the thing. And what happens, I can tell you, if
Prabhu,
you
yes,
are,
I wanted to add one point, Prabhu.
oh,
As
okay. Yeah.
in the last Gaur class and all. initially I thought like more shlokas is little bit tough, but after the class, my kids are saying the shlokas, Prabhuji. So as you are saying, maybe sometimes the shlokas also required, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you are technical, you might be a person who are liking it. I don't know.
not
But
me. I'm saying my kid, Prabhuji. My
they
kid.
liked or they didn't like.
They liked it. They're repeating the
Oh,
shloka. That's what I'm saying.
oh,
So that's I will wow. They catched it right. So because maybe you might repeated that shloka for a few times and all the importance maybe somehow definitely for kids, right? It won't go everything, but something went right. That part
thank you,
just
Mataji. I mean, thank you for giving me some solace.
no. That's what happened. Initially, I thought different, but after Richisha is repeating, I really felt okay. It makes sense. Sometimes, some shlokas, important shlokas, and repetitions really makes them.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
At this stage of Krishna consciousness, when we are mostly young, and we should try to be more focused on understanding the Shastra. At the age, day will come, age will come when he would be able to harvest. Prabhupada also prepared a lot. He did a lot of preparation in his life, while he was youth.
Hmm.
Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj did a lot of preparation. Okay, so they did not become, the way they are without having, enough studies and preparation.
Right.
If you look at Prabhupada's, purport, he is quoting from left, right, from all the acharyas. How it's possible?
Hmm.
So, so we have to spend some time understanding Shastra.
Yeah.
But in today's age and society, also you have to know, being a very diverse community, there are people who would not, very conversant. But thank you, Mataji. You gave me some solace. So let's finish this 4 verse and then we can have some more discussion. So verse number 21. Thank you, Prabhu, for having this discussion, Mataji. Thank you, Pinna Mataji. Tri vidham. Vidha means methods, vidhi, right? So tri vidham narkashedam dwaram nashnam atmanah kama krodha tatha lobhas tashmad etat trayam tejet. I wanted to have more discussion on this one. So there are 3 gates leading to the hell, and that nashnam atmana. Nashnam, all of you know, right? Destruction. So that's
Hmm.
the cause of degradation, destruction of the soul. Again, soul is not degrading, but it's not destructing, but going to the lower, consciousness. What are that? Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. These 3 are this will be the question I can tell you. What are the 3 gets to hell? Kam, Krodh, and Lobh. Kam here, lust, Krodh, anger, and Lobh is greed. So these are the 3 door to hell. Kam, Krodh, Lobh. I think we need to get rid of this. Every sane man, it says, Tashmad, therefore, etatrayam tarjet. Every conscious man should try to give them up. Now, Prabhu, here, this man here
Hmm.
in verse 17,
Yeah.
right? He is filled up with all of these 3 things.
Hmm.
That's why Tasmad, whenever you see Tasmad, Tasmad means conclusions, concluding words. So it's very much concluding the discussion that we had so far. Now he's saying that that's why, this calm, Krodh, and Lobh, in whatever format is present in the demoniac people, they should leave them. And what happens if they leave them? Yatair. Yatair means these 3. Yatair. Yatair. Yatair vimukta konteya. Vimukta means by dejecting, right? Mukha, looking towards, vimukha, going away. So yatair vimukta konteya. Tamo dwaras trivhi naraha. Achrati atmanah shreyas tatoyati ramgati. Very clearly says that the one who will leave these 3 doors, 3 gates, that's leading to hell, O son of Kunti, acharati atmanaha shreyas. What he does, he acts piously. Shreyas, shreyas and prayas, right?
Yeah.
So he does not act in the abominable way. He does not act in the prayers activities. He's not indulged in prayers. Rather, he is engaged in shreyas, in pious, in a higher. Let's see what Prabhupada is translating here. Benediction, Prabhupada translates here. He is engaged in the benedictory activities, which will
Benediction.
take him to the higher stage. And then this last two verse, beautiful, 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 beautiful verse that we should, even after completing this chapter, we should never leave these two verses. यह शास्त्र विधिम उत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकर्तः ना सा सिद्धिम आपनोति ना सुखम ना परम गतिम. He who discard, utsrijya means discard, shastra vidhi, the injunctions that's provided in the shastra. Vartate kamakartaha, and he's acting according to his own whims. This is very deep, and I will spend some time on that one. Nasha siddhim apnoti, attains neither perfection, na sukham na paramgati, nor happiness, nor liberation, nothing. Paramgatim here refers to supreme goal. For us, supreme goal is Krishna Premartho Maham, achieving the love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the person who is discarding the teaching of Shastra and acting according to his whim attains nothing. No happiness, no liberation, nothing. Just wastage of time. That's why again, Tasmad here, you see, Tasmad Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavastito Gyatva Shastra Vidhanuktam Karma Kartum Harhasi. O Kanti Putra Arjun, therefore, Shastram Pramanam Te. Take the evidence from Shastra. What evidence? What is to be done and what is not to be done? What is one duty? What is to be done? What is not to be done? Knowing Gyatva Shastram Vidhanuktam, knowing these regulations of the scripture, Karma Kartum Iharasi, one should act so that he may gradually elevate. Dear devotees, these two verses I am requesting you to remember. You always look at it. So we should not, and I always say that, and by hearing these people say that I'm very narrow, I'm very, some way they say that I'm very strict on certain things. But this is not me. Krishna is saying that you have to be very, very chesty with the teaching that you are following. We all have come from different background. We have a lot of knowledge, so many other things we know, but being serious in Krishna consciousness means now try to align your life with the teaching that is presented in Bhagavad Gita, presented in Nectar of Instruction, presented in Nectar of Devotion, presented in Ishopanishad, presented in Srimad Bhagavatam, presented by Mahaprabhu and Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sync your life, align your life. Do like that, okay? Then you will get the real benefit. Not, I still, I have heard, I have seen, I'm seeing people defending. What is the problem with that? Is it mentioned in the Shastra? Somewhere have we found in our Shastra? Somewhere our acharyas have talked about it. If not, why? I'm not criticizing. There is, different mood, There are different gradation, the knowledge. Okay, but right now taking initiation in Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya, no, my main goal is to sync my life with the cheating, with the science and knowledge that's presented in Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya. एक साध है, सब साध है, सब साध है, सब जाए. You know, it's very important that you sync yourself with the Brahmada Gauriya. You know, and at very higher stage, you will know why. Right now, if I try to explain you why, you would say, or maybe it would not make sense. So I'm not going to tell why it's very important to. But Krishna has given a hint here that, you know, nasa siddhim apnoti na sukham na param gatim. For now, you can take, you know, that. But 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 these sampradayas have goals. Okay, and then the system that is designed, the system that Ramanujacharya designed, Madhvacharya designed, our Mahaprabhu designed, it all has goal. Okay, so if we intermix, then we are basically intermixing our goal. Okay, Mahaprabhu's teaching, he came in the mood of gopis, vow, and this teaching is different. This teaching is teaching how to be one of the, you know, Brajvasis, take the mood of the Brajvasi and come to the stage where, you know, be the devotee like Gopa and Gopis, you know, Annavilasita, Sunyam, Gyan Karamadya, Navritam, Anukulanu, Krishnanu, Silam Bhakti Rutmam. So this is a different type of, you know, package. Okay, so if you buy this package, stay in this package. If you buy this package, stay in the. I'm not going to criticize or say this is limited. In that part, you yourself will figure out at due course of time. But it's very, 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 very important that although we are not citing the verses, but say what is being said in the scripture. What Krishna is saying here, say the same thing, maybe in a different format. But keep your teaching as it is. Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gita, and he said Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? And in the very beginning of the class, I gave the meaning of what is as it is. So keep your teaching as it is. Keep your, you know, preaching as it is. Okay.
Prabhu,
Now, yes, Prabhuji.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No,
I
no, I
was
was meditating
concluding
on
anyway.
this point
So
of
this
following
is very,
scriptures.
yeah, Prabhuji, yes. So
Yeah.
first I would like to, so it's clear what I'm saying? Is it clear so far?
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Let's have some
we have
discussion.
to follow and be true and chaste to the scriptures, and try to follow it as much as we means try to follow it strictly. I mean, but
See, Mataji is saying very nice.
Shantamaji,
You know, Jyoti Mataji is saying, I would show respect to someone that doesn't believe in God. Yes, very good point. I should show respect to someone. Very disrespect to someone who doesn't believe in God. Very good point. Continue being a devotee. Very good point. Set a good example. Very good point. One day the non-devotee might be inspired. Very good point. So this is good. All these points are pretty good, Jyoti Mataji. Pretty good
yeah.
realization.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna, Prabhuji, I have
Santa Mataji. Yeah,
a
please.
question. It's a question or kind of question. So currently we are discussing these behaviors and all.
Mataji, you are somehow or other. I have a little difficulty hearing you. I'm hearing you, but not very clear.
Okay, are you able to hear
Yes.
me now?
Yeah, and now much better, much better. Yeah, I made some
Okay.
change, but
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. So, okay.
I can stop now sharing a screen. Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay. Say, okay, I wanted to be pure. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to follow my Shastric principles and all. Sometimes, whatever we do, maybe it might be wrong. And after that, when we are rethinking or when someone asking, hey, why you have done? I don't know. Yes, I have done that mistake, but I don't know why I have done. Okay, it's not my because if you think it's not me, but I have done that.
Yes,
So
it happens. It's very common, Mataji.
Yeah, if you
Very
see that behavior, if we relate, yes, that is a demonic behavior. Yes, I know that is the demonic behavior, but that's not me. But it's done like that. I don't know why.
No, not to worry. Not to worry. And as long as there is feeling of guilt, we talked about, you know, Swabhav, right? And we talked about Shraddha, right? So our Shraddha is that we want to be pure devotee. We are endeavoring for the pure devotee, but our Swabhav is not there. So if that happens, we should be forgiving others, and we should also forgiving to ourselves too. It happens, like when Prabhupada said that, when fan is at the full speed, when you turn it off, fan still moves, right? There is no energy. This is a very simple analogy that we have heard many times. There is no energy going to the fan, but the fan is still moving. Why? Because there is inertia. So, but slowly, it completely stops. No more movement. So that's what would happen. There is some inertia, and we have that. I have it. I mean,
So just to relate, this Swabhav is
yeah.
coming from our previous lives and all. With our sadhana and all, slowly that goes. Or unconsciousness, we can say, Prabhu, whatever you are saying, Swabhav or whatever, right? Just it happens, but of course, in our anger or any other cases, right? After we realize, okay, why I have done that is unconsciousness, people says, right? Where we are not consciousness, means that
Yes.
unconsciousness still is with me, that requires more purification, more our sadhana.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And at due course of time, have you become more humbler than you were before or not? What is the answer?
Yeah, definitely yes.
Yes. So why you would not become even more humble later, right? Right? Have you changed the way you were 5 years before? The answer is yes. So why don't you think that after 5 years it will change? So it's a continuous process, a gradual process, slowly and slowly. Millions and millions and millions and millions of life we have, done uh, aparadh, anarthas, and that anartha in one lifetime we are trying to vanquish away. The example is given that you have one candle and you are in a 2 feet by 2 feet room, and put the candle in the middle of the room. The same candle you take in a room that is 2 miles by 2 miles, and put that room in the middle of the you know that 2 miles by 2 miles square. You would see difference or no difference,
Yes.
Mataji, right?
Yes,
That
Prabhu, yes.
one candle in 2 feet by 2 feet area would be sufficient to light it up, right? But when you put it in a 2 square miles area, 4 square miles area, 2 by 2, that candle is not sufficient. Why? Because the area is big. So there is more anartha, there is more darkness, right? So bhakti, also the spark, the intensity of the bhakti that we have right now is still not that pure, but there is light. Slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, you know, that intensity will increase, and that intensity will dispel the darkness. So nothing to be discouraged, not to be discouraged at all. If you, yes, don't try to make the same mistake again. We'll read some of these things in Nectar of Instruction. Don't have that tendency to uh, criticize somebody, tendency to put somebody down. Not if you are too. But sometimes, once or twice, if people are perceiving you like that, I mean, I also get perceived like that sometimes. I'm not. I talk, but I'm not pure. This and that. But don't worry too much for those things. You keep your heart clean. Keep your heart very serious, focused on at the feet of Krishna, and that's what you can do. That's what you should do. Remaining, Krishna is teaching you, learn the lesson from it and keep on moving. Keep on, don't be discouraged, anything like that. So yes, Mataji, no, the fan is still moving. We have some inertia. Maybe devotee who have practiced Krishna consciousness longer, they have less, but that will also slowly and slowly vanquished. Mataji, I changed a lot. Okay. So I'm not very sad if you are criticizing me for something. I'm very happy for the changes that I have seen in myself. And I have stayed that many years, and I'm praying Krishna and Guru and Shastra and Sadhu and devotees, touching the feet of all the devotees mentally, maybe not physically. My mood is to serve everyone. So these are the things, Prabhupada is seeing, Krishna is seeing, our acharyas are saying, they would not kick me out. So internal quality, keep that good attitude, good person inside yourself, thirst and hunger for Krishna consciousness. Everything will be perfect. Don't get lost. Don't get lost. Society has become very big. There are so many things. You can become, a star, by something. Don't strive for those things. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitava jagdis kamaye mam janmani janmani ishware bhavatat bhakti hetu ki toi. My dear Lord, I don't want anything. I want just to be your servant. Please help me so that I can stay at your feet. That distraction should not happen. Everything else, if you want me to do, I'll do. If you don't want me to do, I'm not changing those things. No, not change something else. Change. So bhakti that is aligned with the teaching of Guru Sahasra and Sadhu. Sincerity. What else? Should we adjourn or anybody has anything?
A lot of quick things, Prabhuji. Thank you so much to emphasize on the last verses from this chapter. So yeah, the one word is tasma sasram pramanante. Last verse we emphasized. So personally, I'm also thinking the same way. It's like it's not like whimsically saying something, but we should be always backing by the sastra. That is
Always.
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 So
Yes.
because any simple word is there in the one words that has a meaning. We don't know, may not be knowing it. So that way we should take that extent and do it. And as well as it reminds me one more verse also. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhimbina Aikantika Harir Bhakti Utpata
Utpate kevalam. Yeah.
unnecessary disturbance, even though today's world is so many things we are hearing here and there. So that is create unnecessary disturbance, but we should follow the Shastra. That is very, very important. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. You made a very good point. Very good point that each and every word in the verse has the meaning. Has meaning, and maybe we are not understanding it. So our endeavor should be to understand it better than going somewhere else and facing something else, right? I totally love that, and that's why it happens, Prabhu. It's the more we study, the more we spend time, Krishna will unfold. So yes, everything is there. Very good point. Each and every word has meaning. Very good point, Prabhu. Said good thing. Okay, so thank you so much. We have to start new chapter from next class. Are we ready for that?
Haribol.
Haribol. Two
Hari
more
Bol,
chapters.
Hari Bol.
Two more chapters to go, and then we
Yeah.
are done.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, assignments, if you can moment.
Yeah.
Online.
So Bimla Mataji is. I need to give her the password and provide her all the information. So all that recorded class now we are we are doing it live. So I'm doing it live. So it's already on the YouTube. I don't have to do it second time. So it's already gone. And for the homework, I uploaded. How many of you are able to see the homework? I did it last
Yes,
time.
Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji.
I could not see Prabhuji, so some reason I couldn't see.
Are you part of the group?
Yeah, because earlier assignments, online assignments, I got all of them.
So only you, Mataji, everybody else has access to the homework. Bina Mataji, Santa Mataji.
Yeah, I have access to the homework, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I
Okay.
got emails, but I haven't opened though.
Okay. So if I load it again, maybe I'll just send it to you, Prabhu. I'll try to
Yeah,
do it now.
yeah, if you do like as a link, how you are doing earlier, Prabhuji, that would be helpful for me. Thanks so much.
I was uploading it on Google College. You're talking about Google College, right?
Google Classroom, yeah.
Yeah,
Google Classroom, it is there.
Google Classroom, right?
Yeah.
It's called Classroom. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
otherwise I'll check with Manohar Prabhuji how is the accessing.
No, so you have it or no? Do you have access to the Google Classroom?
Yes, because earlier I got the all the assignments like that only. I got the link from you, so I open it and then I fill it. That's how last two modules I finished my.
It's called GBC. No, this is GBC College that I did. Hold on.
I'm seeing 13, 14, 15.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I did it, Prabhu. Prabhu, do you have access to it? Can you log in?
Prabhu, I sent
Yes,
you the
Mataji.
link. No. For Prabhuji, I sent a link in the chat. Maybe try to see whether you can able to open. That is our Google Classroom, one of the 15th assignment. If you are able to log in, if you are seeing it, means you can able to access.
Let me give it a try. I think.
Just give
Let
it.
me see. I can see right now. Yes, Mataji, please continue talking. Let me see in 1 minute if I have given access to Sadhujanand Prabhu or not. So
I think I cannot
it says
add.
that I have
Cannot,
posted it
cannot
to home
add.
and the to entire group. It says here.
It says like a class not
Yes,
found.
it's
Okay.
Huh?
Whatever
That
my
means,
link is, you are saying class not found, Prabhuji.
yes, that's what I see, Mataji. Yep.
Okay, that means maybe yeah, I think Ramacharya Prabhuji has to see that, because we are able to see. Maybe a little access issue or something.
Prabhu, you are not even in that classroom.
oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Have you accepted or did you delete yourself out? I see. I'm not seeing you there.
I didn't do anything intentionally, Prabhuji, because earlier I got all the assignments.
Prabhuji, you are not in the classroom.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, you
So
need to be
I
added
need
in.
I need to send you the link, Prabhu.
okay.
Copy class invite link. And yes, Prabhuji, I don't see you there.
Yeah.
I sent you the link, Prabhuji, okay? You
Okay.
join through that link. And once you get into the link, see if you have access to it or not. Yeah, Prabhuji, you are not in the link. You are not in the class. I just checked it right away.
Okay.
I see everybody else. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Dhanavad
Vanchkal
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Bhattavya Kripa Sindhuvya
Sindhuvyeva
Vasya
cha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
Namo
namo.
Sambal
Namaha.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hari
Krishna. Hare
Bol.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad.